Hey everyone, it's Devon from the Maniology team here with another weekly live every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. You can find us here on another nail stamping journey. Whether it's tutorial, technique, or hack, we're here to discuss the details and we're so glad you can join. So before we kind of get into some things, I want to share a little bit. So make sure that you hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying our live stream and you like the vibes here. We're all about creativity and stamping realness and awesome nail art. Don't miss out, subscribe, and let's hang out. It's free and you'll be notified every single time we launch a new video. And again, before I jump into things, I want to give you guys a little bit of a little notice. So Maniology Nail Challenge this month is Stars and Galaxies, so make sure to get your submissions in before August 15th deadline. So if you're going to participate in our challenge, make sure to submit all of your photos, videos, everything before August 15th. That is the deadline, and good luck, everyone. I hope you guys apply. I hope you guys submit your designs. Okay, now let's get into it because I'm sure you all are very curious. Maniology just released some brand new nail tips and I cannot wait to discuss these with you all. You'll notice I'm missing one finger and that was purposefully. Also, my nail broke, my natural nail. The rest of these are all my natural nails. So it was a perfect time to try out our tips. So this was a manicure I did on these nail tips. And I'm going to be showing you how to achieve this look in today's live. But before we get into that, I have to show you all the goodies. So we have 3 different colors, and these are just like plain colors, so they're perfect for stamping. One is this really, really pretty nude, and here, let me take these out of the box. Oops. One is a pretty nude, we have a clear, and then we have a milky white. So this nude is semi-sheer. So that way, this works with any skin tone. That was part of the reason why we selected these colors, because all 3 of these colors can work with anyone, whether you're red, green, purple, blue, it doesn't matter. These colors will work on anybody. So there you go. And this tip in particular has a little bit of like a white chrome finish. So you can kind of see it looks a little pearlescent or like shimmery. Shimmery is not the right color. I guess like it has like a mirror finish, but it's like a soft white chrome and the color is really, really nice. So you can kind of see what it looks like. So it's just a really pretty light pink nude and it almost has a gentle ombre. So I don't know if you can tell here, it looks a little bit pinker at the top than it does at the bottom. I think maybe showing you on this white background might be easier. So you can see here, it's a little bit more pink at the top. And then in every single kit, you're gonna get sticky tabs and an alcohol pad, a little file, and then also some nail glue and a wooden stick. Sorry, I was using this earlier, so there's a little bit of leakage, don't mind me. But I wanted to show you guys what comes inside. And so there are many different sizes. I believe there are, I want to say like 10 sizes per 10 sizes. So then you'll get 1 of each. So there's quite a bit of option here. Sorry, not 1 of each, 2 of each. Guys, words are hard today. I feel like every live I'm having to say words are hard because there's so much going on in our brain or my brain right now that I have a lot to share. This is going to be a long live, so make sure that you grab your snacks. You guys are nice and cozy. Also, thank you to my A team who's here helping out with the live. Yeah, the struggle is real. So these are what you're going to receive inside each set of nail tips, and then you see there's a little bit of a short file right here. This is an emery board, just so that way you can shape your nails, etc. So let me show you the other colors. This is our milky white finish. So obviously against the white, it does look like a milky white, but then you can also see it here. It's slightly transparent. You can see it's a nice soft white color. And again, you're going to get glue, an alcohol pad, an emery board, extra sizes, and a little wooden orange wood stick. Oops. And of course, I had to save the best for last. This is my favorite set. This is just a really, really pretty clear tips. So this has like a mirror chrome finish on it, and the tips are actually clear. I think it's easier to see it on here because now you can see the white sticky tab through it, but when it's on your nails, it still manages to hide the underneath. So you're not going to see like the separation of your nail and where the tip length starts. So you can see here that it's so shiny that it's kind of hard to see the fact that it's see-through, which I love. So it kind of gives you the feeling of it being slightly see-through without showing every imperfection of your nail or your nail shape. And I can't wait to show you guys more about this. So we're going to be able to stamp on them today. This is what I did. I created a really cute star manicure, and I'm going to show you guys how to create this manicure, and then also how to apply these tips, how to remove it, best practices, and I think I was planning to save this for the end, but I think I'm going to do this now. We also have a few more styles coming in. So they haven't hit the site yet, and we have 3 more styles. I have 2 with me, and these are also very, very cute. So this is the style that I'm going to wear today, and I'm going to show you how to apply. So this already has a design on it, as you can see, but it can still be stamped over because it's just a simple design. So I feel like something that is maybe reverse stamped would be really cute with these. And I'll tell you more, but I was wearing this set for a couple of days and I had great success. Whoops. So that's what this looks like. So as you can see, this one is definitely more see-through, but it's still really cute. I like the see-through look. I hope you guys give it a try because I promise you, you won't regret it. They're so pretty. And I love the little sparkles. This set has like a shimmery kind of finish. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera. Here, let me see if I can take one piece out. Can you see that? It has just like the faintest amount of shimmer. It's got kind of a glittery finish. It's very, very cute, and I think when you see it in person, you're going to absolutely love it. The second style I have, and these are for our like more design tips. And again, all of this can be used with nail stamping. We tested these tips, and they work beautifully with our stamping products. So I'm very excited for all of you to try. This is another style. Oh, well, I think this is my size. So this is just a really cute French nail with glitter and a little white line. And again, this has 10 sizes, 2 for each size, so that way you can find your perfect fit. And I'm going to show you also how to customize if things don't work out the way that you want, or if their sizes are a little bit too narrow or too wide. There are ways to manipulate these so that way you can find your custom fit every single time. Okay, where do we even start? So many things to discuss with you guys. I always have a plan, and then when we get into the live, I promise everything just goes out the window. And then I start thinking about all the other things or ideas that I had. So let me clean up my space first while we kind of talk more and get ready for the demonstration. Okay, so I'm going to move our little hand model away. So let's start with, I want to start with the application, but I think I'm going to save that for a little later because once I put the tip on, yeah, I'm going to save the application for later. I know you guys are like itching to see that, but I'm going to save that for later. We're going to do a little stamping demo, and I'm going to show you how I created that star look. So I used plate BMXL 501. I wanted to use our star plate that we have. I think we launched it a couple months ago, but it was all sold out. You guys bought it all up, so now I can't even use it. But then that forced me to kind of think more creatively, and I got this manicure, which I really, really love. It's so cute, and it's very, very simple. So all you're going to do is make sure you have a protected surface. You all know I hate getting my Lotus mat messy. It's like my pet peeve. And then I use 2 polishes. I use Mercury Baseline, and then I use Bluebell. So these are the 2 colors that I used to create that star manicure. And then I used these clear Aurora tips. And then we don't even have to prime with base coat, nothing. We can just literally start stamping. That's something I love about our tips. I am sure all of you can relate. Who else is like over having to wait for their base to dry? I'm so over having to wait. You all know I am very, very, very impatient, and it's always been a struggle for me. So I'm stoked that we no longer have to wait and I can just immediately start stamping. You don't have to do anything to these tips, and then we can just jump right in. So I am going to start by using this outlined star. Then we're going to do 1 star in this top corner. So in terms of doing stamping on the tips, I recommend stamping on the tips before you place them on, just because it makes it easier. You're not putting pressure on the nails once you've applied them. So I highly recommend decorate them first before you apply them onto your hand. And then we're going to go in and actually here, let me clean this off real quick. And we're going to stamp that star again. Just like that. So now we have 2 stars. I know you can't really see it right now. Let me see if I can bring it up to the camera. I know it's a bit hard to see because we have this really pretty high shine chrome finish, but don't worry, it gets better. Then we're going to go in with our darker purple. I'm going to put this star in the middle. So we're going to stamp this star right on the side here. So now we kind of formed a triangle with the 3 stars. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to fill the other 2 outlines. So we're going to go back with our bluebell color and we're going to fill those stars with a solid etch version of it in a slightly smaller size. So let's grab this middle size again, and then pick it up, clean off the excess with your scraper card, and then we're going to try and center it. Oh, the struggle today. It's okay. I think you guys know the look that I'm trying to go for, even if I don't get it perfect. Let me try and do the smaller star for the other version. So again, clean off the excess with the side of your scraper card. Oh yeah, I was supposed to do the smaller size. And then now you have this really cute starry nail. And then all you have to do is top coat. So for this, you're going to want to use a smudge-free top coat. And give me 1 sec, everybody. Okay. And then that's it. Very, very simple. This is a manicure that anyone can do and doesn't require much effort. Again, these tips worked so well with stamping. Let me show you what happens when I stamp and then I need to remove it, because I realized I stamped it on, but I didn't show you guys what happens when I take acetone and try to remove it. So I have the white tips over here, and I'm going to show you what happens. I'm going to stamp here. I'll stamp the purple over it. Let's do a cute purple moon. That would actually look really good with these purple tips. Like doing a white moon or black moon with this would be really cute because they already have these stars on it. And I think the moon would just look so good. So let's say you stamp and maybe you're like, oh, I don't like the placement of this. Looks weird, or I don't know, you just made a little mistake. That's completely okay. You can use acetone to wipe it away. No harm done. So when you're doing this, you have a couple of opportunities to restamp, but obviously with anything, especially these tips, any type of tip material, there is a limit. So, for example, if you're having to restamp 20 times, that's kind of pushing your luck. If you're only having to restamp maybe 2 or 3 times, you should be fine. So again, with everything, there is a limit. Don't try your best, but if things aren't perfect, it's okay. Just embrace it. You guys have seen me embrace imperfections many, many times on our live. So I still have an opportunity to restamp. And then again, I don't really like it for some reason. This is not centered properly, so I'm just going to take a cotton pad with acetone and wipe away. So when I'm doing this, I'm not like going like this. I'm not letting it soak. Do not let these soak in acetone. You just do a quick swipe and then you're good. You might end up experiencing a little bit of like, you know how when we wipe the plate with acetone, we have these little streaks here? You might experience that on the tip. It's fine. Just take a clean cotton pad. So I don't know if you guys can really see it here. Then you're just going to wipe it away like that. And it's good as new. You might not be able to see it well on the white, but let me try on the clear so that way you have a better idea of what that looks like. Let me grab my clear tips. And we'll try again. So here you go. I'm just gonna stamp on the clear one because I think it'll be easier for you to see when we get streaks and how to deal with that. So again, let's just say I want to stamp a big star. Maybe I'll stamp all 3 stars. Okay. So now I have the star design here, but let's just pretend I didn't like the way that it turned out. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe away, and you're going to see a little bit of streaks, but that's nothing that we can't fix. So you see? Do you see how it like streaked a little bit? Because I didn't do a nice clean wipe. So just one motion. And there you go. Even now, I don't know if you can tell, it has just a little bit of streaking, and that's okay. Just take a dry cotton pad, and then you can wipe away any streaking that you have. So there's like a protective coating on these tips, and it makes it completely okay to stamp over. But be careful of getting the underside. You don't really want to get the underside because it ends up having to be kind of milky when you wipe the underside with acetone like this. So if you can, stay away. I'm trying to show you what happens. That protective coating is on the outside. It's not on the underside. So you shouldn't really be getting acetone here anyways. You would be having it on your tip stand or on your nail. So just be careful of that, because look what happens when I try to wipe it away. It's kind of hard, especially right there. You see this? I'm trying to hold it still so that way you guys can kind of focus. You see that weird stuff going on there? That's because the acetone kind of ate at the material. So the smooth, shiny side, perfectly fine. But the underside, be careful. Like you can kind of already see it too. Oh, actually, on the white, it's harder to see. So yeah, stay away from getting acetone on the underside. It makes it a little difficult, and then it's just going to get milky and cloudy under there, and it's not cute. Just like how we tell you to not get acetone on the handle because it's going to cause it to get cloudy. Okay, now let's move on now that you guys know how to stamp. And again, once you top coat, looks great. There also might be a period when you top coat where everything looks a little milky, especially if you use our smudge-free top coat or our aqua topper. Don't worry about that. Just let it completely dry and you're good to go. So again, let everything completely dry and then it'll turn clear. And then next thing we are going to talk about today is how to trim these tips to get a size that you want. So let's move on. I'm going to do it with this tip because I'm actually going to wear it in a little bit. And let me grab my nail clippers and then show you guys. Give me 1 sec, everybody. I thought I had my nail clippers with me, but I don't. So, whoops. All right, everyone. I'm back. Thanks for your patience. So I grabbed nail clippers. Now, the reason why I love these tips is because you can just go ahead and trim them to whatever shape you want. So for those of you who are maybe more like short nail wearers, that's okay. You're not excluded from nail tip game. You can still be a part and have fun. So let me show you. I'm going to grab our little emery board that's in here. And then we're going to reshape the tips. So I trimmed it because I usually wear almond shaped nails. And then I'm just going to file it into a bit of a point instead of wearing it coffin since the rest of my nails are almond. So let's see. Then use the other side to kind of remove any debris. Perfect. And now I have a nice almond shape instead of the coffin that we originally had. So it's really easy to customize these tips and then also make it the length that you want. So I'm going to take another tip, another size. Let's say you don't like almond, you are a short square wearer or squoval, short squoval. So then all you do is take your nail clippers and trim it to the size that you want. So we're just gonna clip off the ends and then take your emery board and then resize. So these tips literally have everything you need. Oops, I think I accidentally snipped off a little bit too much on that side. But the tips come with everything you need to get started. So you don't have to worry about, having a nail file, having the right glue, having sticky tabs. You can do everything with this little kit. It all comes right in here. It makes it very, very simple. Then on the back, we even have application method of exactly how to apply and then also how to remove it. So yeah, again, I snipped a little bit too much from one side, so now it's not a perfect squoval. However, You guys can file it and shape it how you like it. Now I'm like trying to perfect. We're just gonna move on with another one. We're gonna try it. We have tons of tips here. So yeah, you can just go ahead, trim the excess, and then file. The shorter you go, the more square it's going to be, especially if it's an almond shape. The longer you leave it, the more you're going to end up with like a coffin shape. So if you like more coffin, then you're only going to want to trim off a little bit. Or you can just trim it really short and then just keep trimming on both sides with your nail clipper. And that's what that looks like. So let me show you. And then this is like more of a coffin shape. So there's lots of ways that you can wear this. These aren't only for people who like long nails. The size is a little bit too big for me. Let me try with a smaller size. You can get these really, really short if you wanted. So let me show you here. Let's see. This looks about my size. Then I'm just going to put it over my nail tip stand. For those of you who are wondering, what is this product that I'm using? So this is a nail tip stand. We sell this on our website. I'm also using Uhu Tacky, which is something that you can purchase at like Office Depot or any office supply store. And then it works beautifully and you can reuse it over and over again. Or if you want, let's say you have all these sticky tabs, maybe the really small size doesn't fit you or one of the really big sizes don't fit you, you can always use the remainder sticky tabs on these nail tip stands, and they also work really, really well to hold the tip in place. So let's just say I wanted this nail really short. Also, something to mention, I should have done this earlier, especially with the wider nails. When you're cutting and you're trying to cut directly across, I recommend one, automatically go right down like how I did. You're going to want to take off bits at a time unless you have, there's a particular type of nail clipper that you can do this with, but if you just have like a standard one like this, I recommend taking off a little bit at a time. It makes it easier. If you just try and go in and snip at one time, you're going to distort the shape of the tip, and then it also might cause it to get milky. And let me show you what I mean by that. Here. So when you get further down, as it gets wider and wider, you're going to notice it's harder to just go straight and cut. So you're going to have to cut the sides first. So how I did earlier, where you cut one side and then you cut the other side like that. If you have really, really short nails, or you want to make your nails really short like this, because some people do. I actually had to do a press-on set once for a person whose this was like the longest nail that they wanted. I think I had to do it even shorter. They had really, really tiny nails. And it was for a wedding set. So let's say that you wanted really, really short square nails. Then you're just going to go ahead and, whoops, hold the tip in place. So part of the reason I'm doing this, I'm holding it this way, is just so that way I can easily hold it in place and then I don't have to be gentle when I'm filing, I can be a bit more firm. And then like this. Always use the white side afterwards to clean up any little weird stuff that's hanging out underneath the nail. Then you're going to end up with something like that. So again, if you are a short nail wearer, you can wear our tips and just trim it to whatever shape you like and still enjoy versus wearing long tips. So part of the reason we went with longer is because if you're someone who likes long nails, you can't add length to a short tip, but you can always cut down a long tip to get the shape that you want. So it gives the customers a variety, and yeah, it allows you to do more customization. So what I was saying earlier is, for example, I don't think it's going to show with this one. Maybe I can do it with this one. You don't want to just immediately start doing that. Do you see what's happening right here? You see this? You see these little lines here? That's because I cut off too much at once and now it's warping the tip. And now it also changed the curvature, and look at the tip. It looks like it got flattened. So that's why I don't recommend just like chopping off a huge bit at one time. Go slowly. So that way you don't cause the tip to get warped like that. So that's how you size the tips. And now let's talk about how to apply them on your nail. FYI, there's going to be a part in our live where it gets really noisy, and I'm going to give you guys a heads up. When I tell you mute it, make sure you mute it, because we're going to use a blow dryer at a certain point and it's going to be really loud. So I don't want you guys to like blow your eardrums out. So I'll give you a heads up when we get into the blow dryer. So to apply the tips, you're going to take your little file and you're going to use the white side to buff the natural nail. So we're just going to buff gently. This is not going to damage your nail. We're not thinning out your nail. The file that you use on your own, especially this one, it's very gentle. It's not like a Dremel, so you're not going to over sand your nail and have really thin nails from doing this, I promise. So you're just going to buff it and then make sure you shape your nail. Your nails are really tiny, or this nail is really tiny. And then once you're done with that, you're going to go ahead and use the alcohol swab right here. And then you're just going to wipe away any dust. So make sure to kind of get in there. I pushed my cuticles back like a couple days ago because I was wearing the tips for a few days. So you can use this to push your cuticle back gently if you want to, or to kind of clean any debris that you have here. Also make sure you hold on to this because this is going to be useful for later. But you can go ahead and do that with this. You don't have to if you don't want to. And if you do, just be gentle. So small circles. Here, let me do it this way. It's a little easier for me. So small circles, and then you're just gently going to go over. Sorry, everyone, this is my non-dominant hand. I'm right-handed, so I'm trying to do it. So you do small circles all the way over and gently push back the tip or the cuticles. Like this. And then if you have any little debris like that, you can just kind of gently push it, or you can just take your little file, again, white side, and just gently, very gently file away. So I'm going to go back with my little wipe. Make sure all the dust is gone. You don't want to have any debris under there. Then we are going to look for the right size. So size does matter. Even though I have my perfect size here, I'm gonna still go through this so that way you guys can see how I pick my size. So for me, I think my perfect size is probably around here. These are the extra sizes in here. So I'd say this one's a little too small. So what you're gonna look for is you want it for to have edge-to-edge coverage. So look at this. You can kind of see I have, on one side it's covered, the other side it is not. So let's go up a size. Maybe this is my fit. Yep, this looks pretty good. So you can see on both sides it's covered here. It's also covered there. That is what we're looking for. So today I'm specifically going to be using the sticky tabs. However, if you're going to use nail glue, whoops. Some things to keep in mind. Because of the material that tips are made out of, this is all tips, not just our tips, excuse me. And because of how nail glue is, what you might experience is the tip might slightly spread and get thicker. So that's another reason why I say make sure, like this will not spread so much that it's gonna end up covering the whole nail. I'd really have to press it down. Like if I press it down a little bit, it reduces the amount of gap there is on the right side, but you'd really have to kind of stretch that, which I will get to in a little bit. So that, just keep that in mind, how this looked originally. So if this is what it looked like originally, we're gonna try and resize this later. And then this one is a good fit for me. Again, edge to edge. Now, if you find yourself in a weird situation where you're in between sizes, there are ways to work with that. So right now we can see this one is a little bit too big for my nail. It just feels a little bit too big, and part of what feels too big is the fact that it feels like these corners kind of pushing in to the sides here, and I don't really like that. So what you can do to make it a little smaller is you can always trim, take off only little bits at a time for this. You can always trim the cuticle line area, but just do very, very little. Don't take off a huge chunk at once. Because again, you can always remove, but you cannot add for this. So once you, let's see. Yeah, that kind of took off that part that was sticking into me. So then you can just kind of file it along the edge here to fit your nail a little better. Again, just use a soft, gentle touch with this because the material on this side, the thickness at the base is a lot thinner, so that way it gives your nail, it curves to your nail nicely versus the tip. The tip is a lot thicker. You can even see it here. Let me show you the other side of this one. Like, look at how thin and how thick the base is in comparison to the tip of the nail. So that's why when you're doing this, be gentle. When you're filing, when you're cutting, you don't want to accidentally overdo it. Okay. use the white side to get any of these little like debris parts that come up. Then you don't need to use the alcohol wipe with this because again, you don't want the alcohol underneath the tip and causing any kind of milkiness. Oh, and for those of you who asked about using regular polish remover, non-acetone remover, yeah, you can use that on the tips, but I don't think it's necessary. So now it fits perfectly. Take a look at that. So again, this was a size that was too big and now we got it to fit perfectly. Something else to mention about this is that look at the shape of the cuticle line right here. There's a bigger size. I think it's easier to spot with a bigger size. So my cuticle line on my index finger, it's funny because my thumb is different. You see my thumb, it's more square shaped and the tips are, the tips have a more square shape, especially for the larger nails. You see here, it's more square. And now because my index finger is more rounded, I went with a more round cuticle shape. So that way these corners weren't digging into the sides because this was a size that was a little bit too big. So now this fits perfectly on my nail. And it goes from edge to edge, no digging in, no nothing, no weirdness. So this is a great fit. Now, again, those of you who maybe are in between sizes, maybe you can't fit the big size, but you don't fit a smaller size. Let me show you what you can do. So let me grab a smaller size from earlier. Okay, so we said that, I think this was the size that was kind of small on me. Okay, so there are two ways. Yeah, this was a smaller size. See how we have that weird gap there? Let's just pretend I'm in between sizes. So if you have a size that is slightly too small, or let's pretend that your nail is really, really curved and these tips are too flat. Let's say you need more curve like this. I have a good friend where she has a really strong C curve. So her nails are very, very curvy. Tips that are flat like this might not sit as well on her nail versus when they're more curved. I think it might be easier to do it with this one. It's going to get very noisy in a second, everyone, so please bear with me. And this is your 30-second warning. So there are two ways to do this. The first way, to do this is using hot water, really, really hot water, not boiling, but hot. So you could dip the tip in hot water and then you can remold it. The other way is with a blow dryer. So I'm going to do the blow dryer method. And that's why I said it's going to get noisy, everybody. So make sure that when you do this, do it before you put your designs. You want to make sure you get your shape and sizing all correct before you do your designs. I'm going to see if actually I can mute myself for a sec. I think I can mute myself. Okay, so I'm going to mute myself for a couple of seconds just so that way you guys don't have to hear this because it's going to get really, really loud. Okay, so give me a little bit of time, everybody. Hold on. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that should have done it. And then now you can gently push down. And you're going to want to hold it like this for maybe 30 seconds. So the other trick that I was talking about is you could take a cup of hot water and fill the cup with hot water, and on the edge of the cup, here, let me show you guys. I'm just gonna hold that there for a second. Okay, let's just pretend that this is a cup because I don't have a cup near me. If the cup is filled with hot water, then what you do is you press the nail tip against the cup and hold it there for about 30 seconds. And then that will have widened the tip a bit. So let me grab another tip of the same size. This is our size. There's numbers on here too to make it a little easier. Size 3. And then we have all of our tips right here. So we're gonna grab another size 3 to compare. That's it. So there's little numbers on the inside of the tip. So you can kind of see them. So when the numbers are gonna be at the very, very tip of the tip. So make sure to just take a look there. And if you're wondering how come the nails don't show so well, or the numbers don't show as strongly, it's because we don't want you to be able to see them through these tips, because that's not a cute look. So for example, the clear tips that we sell, you can see the numbers through the tips, which is fine because you end up covering it up with polish. You're not going to end up needing to you're not going to really need to see, because once it covers up with polish, you don't have to worry about it. But because some of these are clear and semi-sheer, you don't really want them to be showing. So I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me try and use a white paper. Maybe this will make it a little easier. So can you tell? These are both size 3. But the right side, the right side is a little bit more flat than the left. So that's how you kind of flatten these tips a little bit, is just by using some kind of like hot water or using a blow dryer. And you can also make it more curved that way too. So for example, I'm going to try this again. Put it on here this time. And I'm going to mute myself again, because now I'm going to show you how to make it more curved. So we're going to mute in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I unmuted, sorry guys. So what you just saw me do, after I heated up the tip for about 10 seconds, I went ahead and gently folded it so that way I could have a stronger C curve. Now let's go ahead and compare the two tips that I stretched. So when you do this, after you heat the tip, be gentle. Again, it's just a slight motion. You're not really trying to like squeeze it, because if you squeeze it, then you're going to bend the tip and then you're going to see it's warped. So again, these are the same sizes, and now look at the difference. I don't even have to show you from the side angle. I think it's quite clear. So again, these are both size 3. but look how one looks so flat in comparison for someone who has a wider nail and maybe less of a strong C curve versus the person who maybe does have a strong C curve. So now they can have a nice comfy fit on their nail. I feel like if I turn it to the side, yeah, I think you can tell there. Yeah, I think it's kind of apparent here too. Look, this one has a stronger C curve versus that one on the right. Looks a lot flatter. So that is how you reshape the tips. Again, you can use a blow dryer or you can use hot water. All it takes is about 10 seconds of heat, and that should be good. And maybe 30 seconds of holding it in whatever position you want. So if you want it flatter, you're gonna press down against a flat surface. If you want it more curved, then you're gonna go ahead and pinch the base of the nail very gently, like this. And then that's it. So that's how you find your perfect fit. So again, for those of you who have really rounded nails or flatter nails or wider nails, skinnier nails, it's okay. We have got you covered in these 10 sizes. And even if the 10 sizes don't fit perfectly, you can definitely mold it a little bit so that way it fits your nail like a custom press-on set. Okay. So now I think I wanted to show you guys, is it this one? This one's like, it's kind of a tight fit. So we said that this was a bit of a tight fit on me, so I'm gonna go ahead and blow dry it and make it wider, just so you guys can see how that can fit my nail. I'm gonna mute you again for about 10 seconds. And when I use my blow dryer, by the way, I'm using it on high. I'm not using it on low. So give me 1 sec. In 3, 2, 1, mute. Okay, we're back. So now I'd go ahead and press. Now hold it down against a flat surface for about 30 seconds. So again, like I said today, we're covering everything you guys need to know about these press-on tips. By the end of this, you should have no questions. After we get into the sizing or finish the sizing stuff, I'm going to show you guys how to apply it. I kind of already started by priming the nail and wiping away all the little dust and shaping, etc. I think that should be good now. Let's see. Much better fit. Look at that, edge to edge, no problem. You see that? And on this side, it looks pretty good. Although the tip is a little bit skinny for me, but some people like this look, like they want to have a strong skinny coffin, and that is possible to achieve if you size down. For me, I wanted it a little bit wider since I'm doing almond. So I have my tip here that I already fit. And this is the one from earlier that we did where I filed it in the shape that it needed to be to match the rest of my nails. Okay. So now that we have this on, there are 2 ways you can apply the sticky tabs. So one way is you apply it on the nail. Another way is you apply it on the tip. I think I'm going to apply it on the tip this time. I've already done a video where I showed you guys how to apply it on the nail and I stretched the sticky tabs, but this time I think I'm going to go with applying it on this size. So these little sticky tabs have a protective plastic sheet over it, so you're going to have to remove that first, just so that way the sticky tabs stay nice and clean. They don't get any like dust or debris on it. So don't remove that whole thing. Just keep it on when you're not using it. Just go like that. And then I'm going to take the inside and I'm going to just go ahead and line that up. So you can take your little orange wood stick from earlier. Let me grab mine. Oops. So you're going to take your little orange wood stick from earlier, and then you can use it to kind of press down any air bubbles. I have a little air bubble there, so I'm just going to like try and push it out. The reason I think I like this method now is because it reduces any chance of air bubbles. Because I'm able to kind of, or well, not fully, but it helps. And then I'm able to kind of push it out this way. Whoops. And also if you're, let's say this is a little sharp and you're like, I don't like how sharp this is, especially if you're gonna use it to push your cuticles, you can just go ahead and use your little file that you got in your kit to reshape this. So if you need to, you can always just file it here. But that's just a little bonus tip for you guys. So just like that. Now you can remove the plastic and then press down. Sorry, wait, I forgot to tell you guys something. Last thing, before we put this on, I messed up, guys, I'm sorry. You can blow dry the tip. Okay, here. I'm just gonna do this. We're gonna do it this way because I don't wanna have to make you guys blow dry your hand. I've done it where I blew dry my hand, it's hot. So to activate the adhesive and make it stickier, I recommend blow drying it. I don't want to get the adhesive wet, so that's why I'm not going to use water. But here, we're going to go back to our little handy blow dryer. And this is the trick. Okay, I'm going to meet you guys again. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're back. Thanks, everybody. Okay, so now that I heated up the nail tip and the sticky tab, you're just going to go ahead and press it on. Then the last time I did this, what I did was I applied everything, and then I just took the blow dryer and then I heated it to my nail for like a couple seconds. So, can you hear that tapping? She is not moving. So I wore this for about, let's see, 4 days, and I tested it specifically on my index finger on my right side because this is my most used finger. I'm right-handed. I washed my hair with shampoo and conditioner every single night. I did dishes, I cooked, I cleaned. I think I even did a little bit of nail work. I did this manicure, and I had no problems. It finally popped off like yesterday. And when it came off, it was just, yeah, it just popped right off. Like the adhesive tab was still on my nail, so I had to remove that with a little bit of cuticle oil, but it was fine. And then the tip was also, because it popped off nice and clean and I didn't use nail glue with it, I was able to salvage the tip and I could reuse it. So that's the benefit when you use the sticky tabs. You don't have to worry about it getting all like nasty inside. So then you can reuse the tips. And that makes this even 10 times better because with everything else, even for example, the Maniology tips, well, no, I guess you can reuse those, the clear ones. You can reuse those too with the sticky tabs, but this just is so nice. The fact that it's a clean underneath and ready to go for another manicure, another wear. So yeah, this is like on. Like I am like, again, she's on there. Something I did notice though when I was washing my hair and stuff like that, once you get it wet, you're gonna notice it might get a little wiggly in here. Don't worry, just like let it dry. I recommend, although if you're gonna do this, like gloves is the best way to do it, but I didn't. You guys know how I am. I can be really, really rough and tumble with my hands. So yeah, I was fine. I didn't use gloves. It's probably going to last a lot longer if you use gloves and do things properly. I didn't, just to kind of push it to the limits, and I had no problems. Another thing that I want to mention is one trick that I did notice helped. The day that I applied these, which was what, Friday? It was Friday, maybe Friday or Thursday, I can't remember. But the day that I applied it, I didn't get my hands wet for like, I don't know. I did it in the morning when I applied, and then I tried not to get my hands wet for several hours. So my recommendation is if you're going to apply these after you've taken a shower, after you've done dishes, whatever kind of chores, things you had to do. Apply it at the end of the day after you're already clean. So that way you can just go to sleep and they can set. Now, the reason why you need to wait for them to set and not immediately start putting your hands in water and stuff like that is because you're allowing the adhesive and the like sticky tab to basically bond. So if you immediately start putting your hand in, water and soap and all that other stuff, it's gonna have a higher chance of coming up quicker. So let the nail tip and the adhesive just bond and it should be good. Also, like, look at this application, everybody. It looks so good. I think I have like a tiny little bubble here, but it's not even noticeable. I love that. So this looks great. Now to remove it, you are going to soak in warm water for about 10 to 15 minutes, like soapy warm water, and this will help loosen the sticky tab and gently be able to pop it off. Or you can use cuticle oil. Although I really don't want to take it off. Guys, I don't want to take this off. I just put it on. My nail looks so ugly without it. Okay, so I think I don't have my water with me. So I think what we could do is, this fits so nicely. Look at that. Even underneath, the sticky tab doesn't hang over. I don't want to take it off, everybody. I know I have to. So you're going to use some cuticle oil. And the other reason why I don't want to take it off right now is because I just applied it. So I feel like the adhesive is strongest now. So you're going to apply cuticle oil everywhere, all around the side of your nails, but then also at the tip. This is the no water and soap method. This specifically works for the sticky tabs. You could do this also with, there we go. We can just like gently try to push it out. Yep, it's working. Excuse me. Yep. It's coming off nice and easy. Perfect. So look at that. The inside of the tip, no damage. Ready to go again. Just make sure you have to like wipe off that oil and clean it really well. You're probably going to want to use soap and water to clean this because you want to get off all that like cuticle oil in there. And then to remove the sticky tab, you're just going to go ahead and take this little orange wood stick, and then you can just literally peel it up and off. No damage to your nail, nothing. And if you're having a little stubborn piece, like, oh, never mind, it's not that stubborn. Perfect. No harm. My natural nail still looks really nice and healthy, and you're ready to go. So if you're using nail glue, if you're going to use the nail glue, the day that you put it on, please do not also try to pull it off that same day or a couple hours later. Again, adhesives are the strongest when you're first applying them, especially if they've had a couple of hours to set. They're going to be really strong. I feel like they're weakest maybe within the first 6-hour mark because they're still trying to like set. And then after that, then they get really strong. And then there's a period where it's obviously going to get weaker the longer you wear. So if, for example, you put these press-on tips during the daytime, like let's say you do morning and you use the nail glue, and then at night you're like, let me pull them off. That is not going to be a fun experience. I do not recommend that. That can damage your nail if you're going to do it. If you're trying to do it that way, use the method that I talked about in our other clear tips video. So if you have to use the nail glue and you really want to have a strong hold, I'm not going to do it now because I don't want to use the glue and then have to I fix this nail later, so I don't want to use the glue now. So what I would do, and this is just like a quick rundown, I explained it in the other video, so make sure you go check that out. You put on your sticky tab and then you use nail glue over that. So the sticky tab basically is the protective barrier between the nail tip and your natural nail. So that way you don't have to worry about damage of your natural nail using the nail glue if you're going to do a shorter term wear. So for example, if you only want to wear these tips for 2 days, then put down your sticky tab, put nail glue on the inside of the tip, and then stick it on. You won't be able to reuse the tip after that, so that's the only downside, but you will have a nice, strong wear. Honestly, I was able to get away with just using the sticky tab, and it lasted me for days, again, on my most used finger, which is my right hand. I'm always that's the reason why this nail actually broke, because it was like this long, and she just broke because I'm constantly using it. So that is my recommendation. If you're going to go straight in with the nail glue, just know that this is probably going to be at least a week kind of thing, depending how you use your hands. It could be longer, it could be a little shorter, but the nail glue, if you use the nail glue, it's going to be more of a commitment. And it is possible to have them and remove them and it still be damage free, but don't try to do it on the same day. That's going to cause you problems. Wait a couple of days for the adhesive to slowly kind of break down naturally, and then soaking it in water, like soapy water, Dawn dishwashing soap and some warm water and a bunch of cuticle oil, you'll be okay. You shouldn't have any problems. So I feel like that's the only time I've ever experienced problems with press-on nails, or I've seen other people experience problems with press-on nails, is if they put them on and then immediately try to remove them, because again, the adhesive is just too strong. It's too fresh. So I hope you guys enjoyed this live. I had so much to share with you guys. I think I covered everything. I covered how to resize the tips, how to apply the tips, how to shape the tips, how to customize, how to stamp over them. Yeah, I think this is it. We got a lot done today. And thank you guys so much for being so patient. This was definitely a long haul, and I appreciate everyone sticking in with me. And I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. Bye, everyone.